Welcome back, everyone. Another episode of Coffee with the Commish, coming off of an awesome day yesterday. Just got back into the NBA player props after a couple of weeks off in preparation for baseball season. Yesterday, 5-1 on the 6 NBA player props that I gave out in the Roto Grinders free articles. Also had a nice day in VIP, going 4-0 on the diamond. Today, coming back with another set of 3 plays for myself. Also have my guy Joe coming in to give three player props from his end. So without further ado, I will bring him in, and then we'll dive into this in a sec. Joe, welcome back, man.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, appreciate you joining, man. We have not the biggest NBA slate in the world today. You can see only 5 games, not the sexiest NBA slate in the world. We go look at the injury report. You can see that Cleveland has already ruled out their entire team. Jared Allen, Darius Garland, Karis LeVert, Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley, all ruled out. Miami has Adebayo questionable, Lowry questionable, Tyrese Maxey questionable. Denver down here, we have Jokic and Jamal Murray questionable. So we don't have the clearest picture of who will be on the court and who will not be on the court today, but we do know that Cleveland will be missing pretty much everyone. As far as the standings go, the reason Cleveland's ruling everybody out is because they're locked into this 4 seed here. Philadelphia also looking like they're locked into a 3 seed, so it wouldn't be surprising to see Maxey end up not playing. Denver, of course, more or less locked into the 1 seed. So this is the reason why a lot of these guys are out, not necessarily injury related, more rest and maintenance related. But Joe, why don't we start with you? Why don't we dive in? What are you looking for tonight? How are you taking advantage of the chaos in the injury report? And where do you think people should take a look?
Yeah, so obviously you talked about Cleveland, how they've basically, they've benched their 1 through 7. And so I'm loving Orlando in this game because Robin Lopez is going to be the main defender on Wendell Carter Jr. And Robin Lopez won't really be cracking the rotation or for playoff minutes. And so I'm really liking Wendell Carter over 15.5 points. In his last 10 games, he's averaged over 16 points a game. He's been shooting he's had 11 shots per game in these last 10 games as well. So I'm really liking him. 11 shots to get over 15.5 points, as well as 2.4 free throws per game. I think he's really going to get that one done. It's really looking like Orlando is going to have a lot of guys having big games today. So yeah, that's kind of the first one that I've got there.
Yeah, you're on another one in that Orlando game as well, aren't you?
Yeah. So I've also got Banchero over 19.5. Chetty Osman is going to be his main defender on this one. His defensive rating is 113.4, so he's a decent defender. But I just really like Paolo Banchero kind of establishing himself. I know he's been kind of quiet since the All-Star break, especially beyond the 3-point line. But these are those types of games where rookies will really be able to kind of do their thing, get buckets, and not really have to worry about it. Orlando's not really playing for anything right now, so it looks like the coach might give the rookies some heavy minutes. And then obviously Wendell Carter. I think he's going to get his against Robin Lopez. So
yeah, I can't talk you off of anything Orlando Magic related tonight. Cleveland, their rotation is going to be extremely thin. You mentioned Lopez probably starting at the center position. Is he going to play 40 minutes? It'll be interesting to see. I don't think any of these Orlando guys are going to face a lot of resistance. I also think because Cleveland's going to be so shorthanded on the offensive end of the floor tonight, the rebounds are going to be plentiful for the Orlando Magic as well. We can go take a look at Markelle Fultz over 3.5 boards is one spot that I'll be on tonight. You can see on the season 57% hit rate at this number. If you go look at his last 30, even you could cut off these last 3 if you wanted. He's hit this number in 18 of his last 27 games. Should be a lot of missed shots from Cleveland tonight. Orlando's not the best rebounding team in the world, so those rebounds could be dispersed relatively evenly, whether it's Wendell Carter or Fultz or Banchero or other places. So I think Fultz takes his share and gets at least 4 tonight. I like him a lot. You get that over at FanDuel, the best line available right now. Other spot I'm targeting in this Orlando-Cleveland game, going Franz Wagner, over 25.5 points, rebounds, and assists. It's another guy on the season. You can see been pretty strong at this number, 59% hit rate here looking at props.cash. If you look at the last 30, it hasn't been super sexy, but there's a lot of green on the right end of this tail, suggesting that he's been playing a lot better as of late. 12 of the last 15 games, he's hit the over, and a couple of these misses, you can see 24 and 25 points, rebounds, and assists. So he's been competitive pretty much every time he's taken the floor as of late. And when you go take a look at the full season split, when he's been at home, really, really competitive at this number. 67% of his games, he's gone to the over. So I know that's a lot of Orlando Magic stuff, but I have a good feeling that the majority of these will end up cashing.
Yeah, totally. And especially on your Franz Wagner pick too. Lamar Stevens is going to be his main defender for this game. So it's really looking like, Orlando's going to be pulling this one out. So yeah, I could definitely see why you would be putting that. Kind of moving a little bit to another game. Another game that's kind of intriguing for me is the Heat Sixers game. Dependent on whether James Harden is playing or not, I've got him going over 20.5 points. His last few games have been pretty shaky, but in his last game, he took 17 shots. The time before, he took 9, and then it's 14s and 15s and 18s there. So I really do like James Harden getting over 20.5, especially with Kyle Lowry being questionable. It's really kind of looking like Harden might be the guy against the Heat this game, especially if they might be sitting D'Anthony Melton and Tyrese Maxey. The ball is just going to be in his hands a lot more, and he's going to be having to do a lot more this game for them to pull out a victory here. So I really do like James Harden over 20.5.
I agree, especially if those guys are out. I think Harden is one of those guys who's missed some time recently, and while everyone else is potentially resting or having their minutes reduced, Harden is a guy who could benefit from some reps out there. My final spot that I'm taking a look at today, I'm going Embiid over 31.5 points. Simply, Embiid right now, he more or less made his final case to win the most valuable player award with that 52-point performance that he had earlier in the week against the Boston Celtics. I still think there's 3 games left in the year. Embiid's missed a handful of contests. Jokic, if he ends up not playing, is almost by default giving the award to Embiid. But Embiid, if he ends up taking the floor tonight, I think he goes out there and just puts one finishing touch on what has been obviously an MVP caliber season. Embiid this year leading the league in scoring, 33.3 points per game. Market number tonight at 31.5, as you can see over here. Best line right now over at FanDuel. So I think if he takes the floor, it's a spot where Miami's not exactly very strong. You can see there's not a whole lot of sample here as of late against high caliber centers. But even this last game against the Detroit Pistons, you can see that Jalen Duran and James Wiseman combined for 34, 2 big men down low. So I think Embiid, if he plays, he has another really strong game. If you go back and you look at Embiid's charts, he doesn't necessarily need to play 35 minutes to score north of 30 points. So I think him and Harden could have a really strong game tonight, especially if they end up not seeing Miami's full team of Adebayo and Lowry and some of those other guys end up being out. Cool. Well, Joe, I appreciate you jumping on this morning, man. I know it's not the best NBA slate in the world, but just to recap for everyone, we have on my end, Embiid over 31.5 points over at FanDuel. We have Markelle Fultz over 3.5 boards, also best line over at FanDuel right now. And then Franz Wagner over 25.5 points, rebounds, and assists. You can get that on FanDuel as well. And then on Joe's end, he likes Harden to go over on his points. He likes Wendell Carter over on his points, and he likes Paolo Banchero over 19.5 points as well. So those are 6 looks from us today. Guys, if you find the content valuable, please like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. I'll have the written analysis posted below in this video as well. Also posting a ton of free stuff to Twitter every day. Joe, thank you again. Until next time, guys, best of luck, and hopefully we'll be recapping a winning day next time you see us. See ya.